Is the Pimax Crystal Super your perfect next PCVR upgrade, or should you probably go for one of the alternatives? I promise you, in this full MRTV review of the Pimax Crystal Super, you will get your answer by the end of this video. So absolutely stay tuned, watch the whole video, because all of this goodness is coming up. Overview. The Pimax Crystal Super enters the high-end PCVR arena with bold ambitions. Designed for VR enthusiasts with powerful PCs, so like you, it brings together flagship specs, wide FOV, eye tracking, cutting-edge visuals, all without the need for external base stations. Unlike many other headsets in this price class, inside-out tracking is built in, and the box includes everything you need to get started. The headset and a pair of Pimax controllers. Only the high-end PC that you will need to fully enjoy this, you will have to bring it yourself, but that won't be a problem for you, I know you. Under the hood, it boasts an incredible 3840 by 3840 resolution per eye, using advanced QLED panels complete with local dimming zones for improved contrast and deeper blacks. It features automatic IPD adjustment, eye tracking, and is available in two versions. One offering 50 ppd and more FOV, the variant that I'm checking in this review, and the other one is 57 ppd and a bit of a smaller FOV. So again, the version tested here is the 50 ppd model that I personally believe should be the only one offered in order not to confuse consumers. But well, Pimax seems to have a knack for that. As in confusing consumers. Anyways, the 50 ppd version is already incredibly sharp, and who doesn't want to have a bigger FOV? While Pimax advertises 135 degrees horizontal field of view, in real world usage it doesn't quite hit that number, but what it does deliver is still very impressive, but more on that later. Pricing starts at $1,783 US, 1,418 pounds, and 1,722 euros, placing it among the most premium consumer headsets available today. So let's get into the most important part here, the visuals. And that is where the Crystal Super shines. Simply put, the image quality is jaw-dropping. The ultra-high resolution, vibrant colors, and sharpness across the lenses deliver one of the most immersive visual experiences you can get in VR today. Games like Half-Life Alyx and Automobilista 2 look absolutely phenomenal. These are titles you may have played countless times, but the Crystal Super makes them feel new again. The colors are punchy, clarity is fantastic thanks to aspheric glass lenses, and everything just pops. However, not everything is perfect. There is visible Mura, especially in uniform color areas like skies and bright scenes. The good news, the Mura levels are comparable to those found in the HP Reverb G2. It's there, but it's not distracting, at least if you have a good unit. So that said, I've also tested an unvetted unit that did not go through Pimax quality checks, where the Mura was significantly worse. So quality control is critical here, and this is where Pimax must rise to the occasion. It is a make or break moment for the company, in my opinion, and they will be judged on the panels they deliver to their customers in the end. But well, let's go into detail about those visuals, and let's start with the displays. On paper, the specs are mind-blowing, and in practice, they do live up to what they promise. The headset features a super high resolution, 3840 by 3840 pixels per eye, making everything from cockpit dials to distant textures incredibly crisp. Despite being a QLED headset and not OLED, colors are rich and vibrant, and local dimming helps deliver improved contrast and depth. There is some blooming in high contrast scenes, but crucially, it avoids the dreaded black crush, which was a problem in the OG Pimax Crystal and Lite. The headset runs at 90 Hz, which is perfectly adequate given the resolution. Realistically, few GPUs can drive 3840 by 3840 pixels at 120 Hz anyways. Even with a 4090, I found 90 Hz more than sufficient for smooth immersive experiences, running the headset at 150% super sampling. The display setup is a major selling point. The sheer clarity and brightness combined with the FOV make familiar games feel upgraded. You simply want to spend more time in VR because everything looks so good. Brightness. If you saw the Crystal Super at CES like I did, you may have been blown away by its brightness, but also noticed more visible Mura. It seems Pimax has adjusted the brightness slightly downwards in production units, likely to mitigate this issue. It is still brighter than the original Crystal, and the result is a vibrant picture that balances clarity and contrast well. That said, it doesn't reach the intensity of the Somnium VR1, which remains king of brightness in this segment. Compared to the micro OLED headsets, you will have brighter visuals here though, and if you enjoy sunshiny days in VR, you will enjoy this headset so much. Let's talk about the lenses. Pimax made major strides with their aspheric lenses, and it shows. These are some of the best aspheric lenses I've seen in a consumer headset. The clarity is excellent edge to edge, and they've even improved over the OG Crystal. Reflections and glare are minimal, and the sweet spot is large, allowing you to move naturally without dropping clarity. Yes, there are the usual geometric distortions when you move outside the sweet spot, but it's easy to stay centered, and once you are, the optics are simply outstanding. Distortions. This is where it gets really exciting. There are virtually no visible distortions. That's a huge win. Compared to competitors like Meganex and Somnium VR1, the Crystal Super holds its own and even outperforms them. I'd say it's on par with Big Screen Beyond 2 and a night and day difference compared to how things were at the CES. This is a huge step forward for Pimax and one that users will immediately notice. Well done. Field of view. With a measured 128 degrees horizontal and 111 degrees vertical, the FOV is large and immersive. For those disappointed by the Meganex's limited FOV, this is a welcome alternative. While it doesn't quite match the ultra-wide view of the 8KX, it's not far off. This wide field of view combined with high brightness and resolution really amplifies the immersion. FOV fans will not be disappointed. Binocular Overlap. One of the few shortcomings is binocular overlap. With a percentage of around 72%, it's below average. Technically, Pimax claims 103 degrees overlap in degrees, which sounds good, but from a perceptual standpoint, it's the percentage that matters, at least for me. That said, I didn't find it problematic in practice. Thanks to the bright panels and good clarity, the reduced overlap didn't affect immersion significantly, even for someone like me who's sensitive to this. So the headset gets a pass for me in this category, but there is still quite a lot of room for improvement. Comfort. Now let's be honest, this is still a big headset. We're living in a post-Meganex, post-Beyond world where lightweight form factors are becoming the standard. The Crystal Super weighs around 1 kilogram, which makes it one of the heaviest headsets around. Compared to the original Crystal, comfort has improved, especially since Pimax abandoned the ill-suited halo strap shown at CES. The result is a stable, wearable headset that you can use for long sessions. But if you're coming from something like Meganex, you'll feel the weight. For me, the Meganex remains the king of comfort, but the Crystal Super holds its own if you're okay with some bulk and know how Pimax headsets have always felt like. Audio. The built-in S-Mass speakers are frankly disappointing. Audio is tinny across the board, bad bass, muddy mids, weak treble. It's simply not acceptable for a premium headset. However, there are also the Pimax D-Mass speakers, and Pimax throws them in free of charge sometimes in some special events, and well, if they are free, you should go for them because they are so much better. These float in front of your ears and deliver far superior sound quality, and in my opinion, these should be standard for every unit, and in my opinion, you need them. As for the microphone, It's underwhelming. It sounds noticeably worse than the mics on the Beyond 2 and Meganex, and only slightly better than Crystal Light. Pimax claims they might improve it with EQ, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
This is a microphone test. This is a microphone test with the Pimax Crystal Super. Peter Parker plays piano. Peter Parker plays piano. How does it sound?
Tracking and controllers. One major upgrade for those without Lighthouse base stations and index controllers is the inclusion of camera-based inside-out tracking, which means no need for external base stations. However, for users who prefer Lighthouse tracking, a compatible faceplate will be available later. The headset tracking works well, but controller tracking still lags behind the competition. In shooters, aiming down sights can and will be frustrating, especially right now in the beginning of the Pimax Crystal Super life cycle. Actually, I would not want to play shooters with this. While it's serviceable for most other use cases, VR gamers expecting pinpoint accuracy will notice the flaws and will not be delighted. Talking from my experience, I simply hope that Pimax will improve the controller tracking, and they did so with the original Pimax Crystal and Pimax Crystal Light, which at the beginning also had bad controller tracking, but down the line it improved a lot. So that's what I'm hoping here for the controller tracking of the Pimax Crystal Super as well. Right now I cannot really enjoy it. And also something that I can't believe is still happening after all the negative feedback we had given the company about this, the play space recognition. It's bad. The headset still forgets your room setup regularly, requiring you to recalibrate far too often. Actually, I need to do this every single session, which is ridiculous. This has been an issue since the original Crystal, and it's still not fixed. This needs urgent attention. Pimax, this cannot happen on a high-end headset. Let's talk about software. The good news, Pimax Play has matured. It's a smooth, user-friendly experience. Setup is easy, the UI is simple and does not get in the way, and OpenXR support is built in. Games like Microsoft Flight Simulator run beautifully, and the headset supports SteamVR, OpenXR, and even Oculus Rift titles. Do you still remember those? Yeah, really, Pimax has done a really good job on the software side, something that wasn't always the case. It is now plug and play mostly, and well, that is a great development. The Pimax Crystal Super, just like all Pimax headsets, is not a pure SteamVR headset like Beyond or Index though. So you will absolutely need to use Pimax Play in conjunction with SteamVR. And not everything is perfect yet. For example, the smart smoothing solution that Pimax offers does not really work very well for me, and I usually turn it off. Performance. With this many pixels, performance expectations are high, and the Crystal Super delivers. On a desktop RTX 4090 running at 150% super sampling, the visuals are jaw-dropping. Even my laptop 4090 at 100% held its own. This headset demands high-end hardware, but rewards you with some of the most immersive visuals ever seen in PCVR. The built-in eye tracking also unlocks foveated rendering and quad views in supported games like DC as a World. If this tech gains broader support, the potential here is huge. I can wait for my 5090 desktop to materialize at the MRTV headquarters, because this is truly a headset that can make use of that raw power this GPU will give you. It's just a match made in geek heaven, and I'm pretty sure I will enjoy this combination a lot very soon. So let's come to the conclusion. The Pimax Crystal Super is an ambitious, high-performance headset that brings Pimax closer than ever to delivering the ultimate PCVR experience. With its 3840 by 3840 pixels resolution per eye tracking, automatic IPD adjustment, local dimming, QLED panels, and wide FOV, it checks nearly every box for enthusiasts looking for top-tier immersion. Games look breathtaking. The aspheric lenses are sharp and clear across the field of view, and the software experience has matured into something truly plug and play, especially with native OpenXR support. This headset is no longer just for the brave early adopters. it's now a viable choice for serious simmers, hardcore VR fans, and anyone wanting to push their GPU to its limits. It's also priced competitively under $2,000, considering everything you get here, including controllers, inside-out tracking, and for now, a free upgrade to the superior DMAS audio system. But let's be clear, this launch is a make or break moment for Pimax. They've clearly done the hard engineering work. The hardware is there. The visuals are astonishing. The wide GPU compatibility, yes, even with AMD, and solid return policy position this headset well for the global market. However, all of these hinges on consistent quality control. Previous Pimax launches have been plagued by inconsistencies, most notably the original Crystal's lens issues. And while my review unit showed only minor Mura, on par with the Reverb G2, I've seen other units where Mura was a real problem. If Pimax can ensure that every Crystal Super looks as good as mine, with the same performance, same optical clarity, and same low Mura levels, then they're in a strong position to dominate the high-end PC VR space in 2025. But if quality control falters again, it could once more alienate the very audience they've worked so hard to win back. There are still trade-offs. It's a big headset weighing around 1 kilogram. And while comfort is improved, it's still no match for lightweight champions like Meganex or Beyond 2. Controller tracking is another sore spot, a really weak spot. Functional, but not reliable enough for FPS players. And the headset's tendency to forget the play space between sessions is frustrating and long overdue for a fix. That said, for simmers, this may be the perfect headset. The incredible resolution, brightness, wide FOV, and support for eye-tracked rendering in titles like DCS World make it a dream cockpit companion. In short, we're closer than ever to the perfect PCVR headset. There's still compromise, but now it's measured, predictable, and manageable. If you're willing to live with its few quirks and have the GPU muscle to drive it, the Crystal Super is a fantastic choice. Pimax has the ball. The specs are stellar. The experience is nearly there. Now it's up to them to execute with consistency. If they do, they just might own 2025. Let me also give you some alternatives. The Meganex Superlight 8K for unbeatable OLED blacks and fill factor with better binocular overlap. Downsides are smaller FOV and no AMD GPU compatibility and bad return policy. The Beyond 2, excellent form factor, OLED visuals, a lower price, however, it does not match the Crystal Super in visual fidelity. Play for Dream offers wireless freedom, better controller tracking, and OLED panels, ideal for room-scale gamers seeking mobility and good inside-out tracking. Somnium VR1 for simmers that want mixed reality experiences with their real-life cockpit setup. Also incredibly sharp visuals and even more brightness. Downsides are the higher price, missing local dimming function, and the front-heavy design that would need some modding. So, if this review helped you with your decision, let me know in the comments. And if you already own one, how's your unit? And Pimax, please fix the tracking, keep the QA consistent, and you might just win the VR crown in 2025. That is everything that I have for this review. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If yes, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if my content helps you to make a more educated purchasing decision, I would be very grateful if you support this channel and content like this by ordering the headsets through the MRTV affiliate links. You can always find them down in the description of this video. And for the Pimax Crystal Super, if you enter code MRTV at checkout, you'll even get a $25 discount. So yeah, you should absolutely do that. And that's everything I have for this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that now and click on the bell button so that you don't miss reviews like this one in the future. I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.